Hey y'all, Zach McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates, and I want to answer the question, how do I win a bidding war? This question I've answered in great detail in a few other videos that are about 20 minutes long, so I want to give a couple minute synopsis here on some tips and tricks for winning a bidding war and just a basic strategy behind how I approach these situations. So the gist of making an offer in a real estate negotiation really comes down to a few things: the price and the terms and contingencies involved in the contract. And this honestly is nothing different in a competitive situation or a non-competitive situation. All real estate negotiations really center around those two things. So in a competitive situation, what you want to do is have one of the highest prices. Generally, it is one of the people that offer the most, but not always the highest. They have multiple clients that get these and win these situations without being the highest bidder, but you also need to have the best terms. And really what it comes down to, it's generally the offer that has the best terms and then is closest there on price with those best terms included. So typically in a real estate transaction, and I've answered this question in a different video, but you'll include contingencies in your contract, and essentially those are buts in the contract that protect you as the buyer. And so a seller would prefer to have fewer contingencies, which would allow them the assurance, I guess that's the right word, assurance that you are actually going to close the transaction. So as a buyer, what you want to do, and typically there are a few major contingencies, those being your financing, your inspection period, and then just the overall title of the property. Everybody includes title contingency no matter the situation. But as a buyer, if you can get your financing up front pre-underwritten, meaning that the lender has done a full review on income, assets, credit, has pulled your W-2s, pulled your credit, and up front can take you through that process, then all really that's needed is an appraisal on the back end. So as a buyer, you can forego that contingency. There's still a risk, right? There's still a risk there, but you can forego that contingency. You could also do an inspection ahead of time, which would make your offer stronger. If another buyer included a finance or an inspection contingency, you could go ahead and waive that inspection contingency because you've already done your inspection up front. Those are just a couple of the items that really do set you apart as a buyer. There's lots that I could talk about, but the big gist here is to tighten up your contract, so have terms that are more favorable to the seller and less favorable towards you as the buyer, and then also be willing to pay a little bit more than the asking price. Typically 5 to 10% is where these bidding wars end up. Occasionally they do go over, but as a buyer you have to pick your walkaway point. And that's what I always coach people on, because what I don't want you as a buyer to do is to purchase a house and then regret it later on. The goal here is to get the house at a price that you're happy with and excited about, and so that when you move in, this is a joyful experience and not a feeling of regret. So again, I'll post a link here somewhere down below this video with just that link to my other video that I did, which is a lot more in depth with notes in front of me. But this is the basic gist of how to win a bidding war. If you have questions, feel free to contact me. And then if you have other real estate related questions, I'd love to take a minute and answer those in a future video. So please reply with your comments below, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.